Back to you.
Heather, thank you. It is the first day of school for thousands of local students and many kids. They're going to have those new schedules. Dr. Panda, professor at the Salk Institute, is joining us with more. Doctor, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Good morning.
So this is the first for some schools. They're going to be starting a little later in the day because of a state law. How is this going to affect students overall and families?
So, we all parents want our children to be at our peak physical, intellectual, and emotional health. And this law is in the right direction to achieve that goal. So when adolescent kids actually have a different biological rhythm, so they are more likely to sleep late and also wake up later. So by allowing the students by delaying school start time, we are letting them to sleep 30 minutes to an hour extra, and that will reduce accidents in the morning. There is less tardiness when they reach school. And then research has shown that this delayed school start time can actually improve their grades, and there is better graduation rate.
I don't think there's anybody that will sit in front of you and argue and appreciate sleep more than the team that wakes up in the middle of the night and has such a lack of sleep. For parents that may not be familiar with the state law, is it just shifting the start time for kids? Because there's some schools that we even saw that they were going earlier and earlier, like classes were starting to start at like 6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, so this is where the research on sleep and circadian rhythm comes into play. So, when we sleep, our brain reset, rejuvenate, and repair itself. And when kids don't get that enough sleep, their brain is uncoordinated. So the different parts of the brains don't talk to each other correctly, so people feel cranky, they're tired, they're fatigued. And then when the brain is not working well, they also respond very differently. So that's why there is increased risk for anxiety, depression among kids. And you combine all of that, they're also at a higher risk for substance abuse like alcohol and drugs.
All of this from sleep?
All of this from lack of sleep. But
wow.
Not only that, the new research is showing just like it affects our brain, lack of sleep also affects our gut. So for example, in the last few years, most physicians will tell that there is an increase in gut diseases, starting from bloating to irritable bowel syndrome among teenagers. And that comes from sleep disorders. And now, when you combine brain and gut, they affect a lot of our bodily processes. So there is also evidence that lack of sleep starts this cascade of events leading to insulin resistance and obesity. So we know that in high school, a lot of kids gain weight, and that might be linked to lack of sleep.
Doctor, how much of this applies to adults? I know we're talking about the kids and the start times, but I can imagine there are a lot of adults who struggle sleeping on a nightly basis too, yeah. And everybody's ears are perked up listening to what you're saying. Does the same thing apply to adults, or is there a significant difference between these adolescence years, childhood years, that they need more sleep, or an adult can function off of maybe 5 or 6 hours of sleep?
Actually, adults cannot function with 5 or 6 hours of sleep. So again, the Sleep Research Society and all the sleep experts are coming to the consensus that adults need 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep every night. And there is also a lot of research from the last 50 years showing people who do this early morning shift or night shift, they are also at a high risk for many of the disorders that affect our brain and body. And not only that, over long term...
You listening? You all listening to this? Okay, go ahead, Doctor.
There also, World Health Organization a few years ago has categorized night shift workers to be at a high risk for cancer. So that's why night shift or shift work is now considered as a class 4 carcinogen by World Health Organization. So all of these are coming into play, and we are doing research at Salk Institute to figure out how best we can combine, say, shift work is essential. You are the heroes and wonder women of the society, and we cannot live without you. But then the question is, how can we take care of all these healthy heroes and wonder women so that we can run the society and at the same time keep you healthy? So that's the ongoing research at Salk, and hopefully I can come back again and talk to you about it.
I want you to come back and talk about it. Thank you for being here. I know there's going to be some adjustments for parents to do, but this importance of sleep So important to get those kids a chance to rest.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Doctor. Heather, do you think it would work if we tell the bosses? Do you think we could shift the morning show to start at 10?